What's going on, people? Welcome once again to Raw Boxing TV. Deja vu. That's all I can say. Back when I used to predict that, that Martinez was going to beat Chavez, that Guillermo Rigondeaux was going to beat Donaire, that Danny Garcia was going to beat Lucas Mathies. When all these fights came into effect and everything went my way, all of y'all that hated on me had to keep their mouth shut. All of you. Well, there's a guy out here in YouTube channel, which I will not mention his name, but he will see this video anyway, because I believe he either follows me or, he's subscribed to me or something like that. And he made a response on my last video, a fight for honor. The fight's not for honor. In this video, he starts out by saying that it's about time somebody calls me out on my BS. He also says he don't believe I'll come after him. He knows, and he makes it very clear. He says he knows I will duck him. And he says that a couple of times throughout the video. Before I go ahead and start schooling you, my question to you is, if I've been challenging the big dogs for the past 3 years in YouTube, you've heard me in several videos say, let's go, Ellie, debate, let's go, Casino, let's go, T Street, let's go, all these guys that are big dogs. What makes you think that I'm not going to come after your emotional throat? I just can't answer that for you. You will have to answer that for you. But let's get to your video. And I'm making another video on this subject. Okay? Because first of all, I'm going to say this once, and I'm not going to say it again. If you out there, you or whoever's watching, has the audacity of calling me out, unless you are willing to show your face like a man on a lifetime conference on Uvu with me, live debate, one-on-one, I'm not going to waste my time. You can call me all you want to, because at the end of the day, what I say is not bias, it's truth. You can say that the truth is being biased if it makes you feel good. But unfortunately, I don't care if what I say makes you feel good or not, because I'd much rather be hated for telling you the truth than to be loved for kissing your rear end. Period. Period. You say I'm biased because, what I'm saying is I'm talking about a Cuban fighter and I just so happen to be Cuban. Okay? But what you need to realize is, okay, well, he's talking about a Cuban. He's Cuban. Okay, let's put that aside. Let me see if really he's lying on what he's saying. Let me see if he's not being truthful. Because if he's being truthful, then, I'm not going to expect the guy to lie just because he thinks that we're going to call him biased because he's Cuban. And you can call bias, you can call whatever you want. If your rear end holes hurt whenever I say what I say, go to the bathroom and change your tampon. Period. In your video, you contradicted yourself several times. Several times. You first start by saying, that I keep talking about fights that Edislam de Lara had back in the days when he fought Paul William, when he fought Vanes Martirosyan, when he fought Angulo, and then you said that I cannot use that to compare him to what he's gonna do against Canelo. You can't use past fighters, past fights. That's in the past, you said, or something like that. But then you go on later on and say, when you start talking about your boy Canelo, which, by the way, you are biased because you admitted you are a big Canelo fan. By the name of your channel alone, I can tell you you're Mexican. And I know you're an emotional fanboy. That's what you were saying, But anyway, then you said we can't use old fights to talk about Lara. But then you go on and use old fights to talk about your boy, Canelo Alvarez. And I say to myself, if I can't use it versus Lara, what makes you think you can use it with Canelo? Allow me to pump some boxing knowledge into your brain. Yes, you do use past fights, because it is the past fights that lead you to study the fighter and possibly give a accurate prediction. After all, a doctor does not become a doctor without going to elementary first. You must go back and say, what were his grades? And see what his grades were in elementary, in high school. And then you can conclude, man, this guy is going to be a smart doctor. Because he was very smart when he was a young kid, when he was a young guy. It's the same thing in boxing. You know, this fighter has fought this guy, this fighter has fought this guy had this to offer. There's a good chance that he's going to do what I'm predicting he's going to do. That's the first thing you're going to need to learn, not only as a boxing fan, but as a YouTube boxing a community member, if you want to have a good channel. Okay, which, by the way, I got to appreciate you. I got to take the time to thank you for one thing. I noticed that in the last 2 days, you made this video. I just now seen it last night. You know, it was late. I'm coming to your throat right now, so it doesn't really matter. But I noticed that in the past 2 days, I have picked up 50 subscribers. Which those 50 subscribers, there's a good chance they came from the 100 subscribers you already got. So I have to appreciate you for that. I got to thank you for giving me possibly 50 of your subscribers. Anyways, you're looking like Canelo, lying to your public. Because what you miss to do, what you failed to do, was use the same technique against me that I used against Canelo. You know, I said Canelo beat Austin Trout very easy. And then I said, I said Lara beat Austin Trout very easy. And I said Canelo didn't. People thought he lost. People thought it was a draw. I thought he lost. You know? But I would not have had a problem with a draw either. But to see Canelo win that fight, I mean, you're not going to expect Golden Boy to allow Austin Trout to win that fight, regardless. I mean, period. I mean, if the kid got a draw versus Mayweather that actually schooled him, what do you think is going to happen? You know, do you think it's that Golden Boy's just going to let him lose? No, it's not going to happen. But yeah, you fail. You're lying to your public. You said, well, you know, Trout was not the same after Alvarez. He was a scared fighter after that knockdown. He was damaged. Don't be so emotional. What was Austin Trout damaged from? A knockdown? On a fight that he actually won? And you're saying this because, according to you, they started the fight and he was, you saw Austin Trout kind of timid. The first 4 rounds, he was sort of, you know, jittery. Both fighters was just kind of like at a slow pace. Allow me to pump an extra fusion of boxing school into your emotional head. The reason that fight in the first 4 rounds was sort of a slow pace fight. When you have 2 technical, notice that word, because you don't know that word. When you have 2 technical fighters, 2 very smart fighters, and you put them inside the ring, it's what I like to call a chess match. Take your time, study your opponent, and then implement whatever game plan you have come up with. But don't tell me that fight was slow because Austin Trout was damaged from your boy Canelo. That's a hunk of BS, and even your people know that. Period. However, I will tell you this. Angulo was damaged when he got in front of Canelo. You might want to, you know, there's one of the guy out there that watches my video and comments once in a blue moon. He said, you know, it's the styles. You know, Lara allowed Angulo to do what he wanted and Canelo didn't. Not really. The fight was pretty much similar. You know, Angulo coming forward, throwing punches versus Lara. Lara counterpunching the whole night. And then versus Canelo, it was Canelo coming forward a little bit, then Angulo coming forward, but he never threw a punch. He was so more focused on protecting himself. He didn't want those eyes like that anymore, because that's what made him quit. What made him quit, I do not know, okay? Because I think back when Erislandy Lara fought Paul William, Lara had that face like that too, and he didn't quit. He won his fight, although he got robbed. Another thing that all of you, for some reason, think I have said this, and if you can go back on any of my videos and find this, please allow me to know where that video is so I can take it down. I said that this fight's going to be just like Mayweather and Canelo, you know, because Lara's going to school him just like Mayweather did. When have I said that? And first of all, when have I said that Mayweather and Canelo fight the same way? When? You point that out to me, video and everything, and I'll get back with you. At the end of the day, kid, you got a lot to learn, homie. What makes you think I'm not coming after you? I don't know. What you need to realize is you need to do your homework really good when it comes to boxing. And you need to leave your emotions aside. When I talk about a Cuban fighter, I leave the Cuban emotion aside, because I am a big fan of my own fighters, like Cuban fighters. I love Cuban fighters. I'm Cuban. But when I talk about them, although it may seem to you that I'm biased, so far you cannot point one thing I have said that has not been true. So how can you compare the truth to a biased statement, bachatero? The one thing you need to do is appreciate the fact that I'm telling you the truth. And then, the day you catch me lying, the day I say, oh, you know, Erislandy Lara is going to destroy such and such, and everybody knows, and we all see that it doesn't happen. Or, let's say, I make up a comment about Erislandy Lara that everybody knows is a lie, then you can call me biased and be 100% right. But in the meantime, when you hear me speak, although it's getting you angry because I'm rubbing things in your face the way it's supposed to be done, as a man, notice that word, man, as a man, stop, analyze what I'm saying, find out if it's true or not. Then make your own conclusions instead of reading everybody else's comment and say, well, Ranger's bias. I've heard it ever since I came into YouTube. But ever since I came into YouTube, I've been making you guys look bad. You know, I was a Filipino hater when I said Donaire was going to lose to Rigondo, because how dare I say that about a fighter who only had 11 fights? Maybe because I know about boxing, and maybe because I know what Cubans got to offer. And maybe because I know that when two styles come together, I can kind of see what may happen. When I said Chavez Jr. was going to lose to Martinez, I was a Mexican hater. You know, when I said Danny Garcia was going to beat Lucas Matiz, I was an Argentinian hater. How can I say that? I mean, haven't you seen Matiz just taking heads off people's necks? But allow me to tell you, so far I have not been wrong. I'm coming up with more videos on this. And again, if you want to really start a debate, check me out on Uvu, Ranger777. Tweet me and let me know the day you're there, any day after 4 o'clock Eastern time. And I'm coming for your throat, live, face to face, not hiding behind a picture. I'm out.